Assalamualaikum and good morning. So for today's lab session, we will learn on how to create a basic user interaction on Android Studio. So what we will do for today is to create a basic Android application for unit converter. Okay, we will have one edit text, and then we will use one button, and then how to change the title of your application. So for today, what we will look into is one, okay, how to rearrange the layout, okay, using relative layout. Number two is how to use edit text, and then how to get the reference towards the edit text or the screen elements, okay, edit text and both the button. And then number three is how to capture the user action, right, on button click, okay, when the user click. So we will capture the interaction of button click through the use of implementation, and then we get the input here in meter, and then we try to convert it into feet. All right, we use it to convert the unit meter into feet, okay, unit feet, okay, or foot unit. So let's try and create a simple Android application. Okay, you only needs to click a new project. Okay, and then you will be presented with a wizard. So you can create an empty activity over here, right? And then you can put here the name of the application, basic unit converter, right? Okay, we will try to recreate the user interface, right? Okay, our objective is to create basic user interface as being displayed here in the unit converters mockup. Okay, we will try to create an application that is based on this mockup. Right. So the first thing first is we need to look into our layout. So we need to convert the layout into relative layout. Okay, something that are much more manageable. So drawable, we go to layout. Okay, layout, we have activity main. Right, this is how the layout would look like. So in order to convert the layout, we can change the constraint layout into relative layout. So in to change it, you can click over here, okay, into code, right? So you can see here it uses Android X constraint layout, So you can change this into relative layout. Right, okay, you can change this into relative layout. Okay, that's all that you need to do. Okay, and then you can delete this. Okay, ensure that there are no error. Okay, red squiggy, we call it red squiggy. There are no error, so you will be presented with the blank. Okay, blank like this one. Okay, next we use linear layout. Okay, linear layout. Okay, drag into linear layout. Okay, like this one. Okay, sorry, we use the vertical linear layout. Okay, not horizontal one, but vertical linear layout. Okay, drag into the screen. Okay, and ensure that you get the vertical linear layout. And then next, what we need is the edit text. So we might find the appropriate edit text. So here we have one because we want to use the decimal edit text. So we can drag the decimal edit text over here. Okay, ensure that you can drag it Alright, drag it inside the linear layout like this. So it will fill the linear layout. And then you use button. Alright, we need a button. Okay, you can either drag this into relative layout or inside linear layout. So I prefer you to drag it into the linear layout like this one. Okay, you get the button. Okay, next we need to change the button ID. Okay, up to you, button ID. But I like to name it into the action that it try to perform. So this is optional, but it is a good practice to change the name of the or ID of the button into their action. So I change it to BTN convert or button convert. Okay, because we want the action to be convert, right? Okay, and then click refactor, and then we want to change the labeling of the button. All right, we may find over here the text. So the text here we can change it into button, into convert. Okay, change it into convert. Right, there you have convert. Right, there you have convert. Okay, as for the edit text, okay, edit text is above it. Okay, you can put a hint. All right, you can put it inside the hint. So you put a meter M, and then press enter. So you get hint. So in mobile application, the hint usually acts as a label. Right? There are no labels separately. So this is a good practice. Okay, it is a good practice to have a label inside the text. Okay, text box or edit text. So you should not put a label separately from your edit text. Okay, this is a good practice um, for mobile development. Okay, next we want to ensure that there is a sufficient margin or sufficient padding at the left or right side of this application. So to do that, we can look over here. So if there are no margin or padding, you have to go to the code and then go over here and then retype it as Android padding left. Okay, 16 dp. Or sometimes there is a suggestion over here. So for this, you just put it as 16 dp or you can put here a demand. Okay, dimension. Because there is no dimension on emphasis over here, the default would be for the mobile device is 16 dp or 16 dip. Enter in and write padding right. Okay, 16 dip also. Okay, ensure that there is a closing over here, just like this. So there is no more red squiggly error line. And then click on design, then you will find that the application have margin, okay, or padding on the left and the right side. So you can try and display it over the emulator. So you can preview it on the emulator. Right, this emulator is running on the cold boot. Right, so you get a basic unit converter. Right, and then try to compare it with the mockup that we have designed. Right, almost done, except that we need to change the name of the application, basic unit converter. To change the name of the activity, we need to go to rest. Right, it is included here under the string. under the string, the app name. So you can change the app name over here. You change it, the app name, you need converter. So, and then you try to update it. Okay, apply changes and restart the activity. So it's supposed to update. So then it is updated like this one. Okay, unique converter. Right, find my devices have located this application. So you can get this. So this is the basic form of how to create a unique converter. So here you can put in the number and then you press convert, and supposedly it would display the converted value at the bottom, right? At the bottom. Okay, next we will continue on how to implement a unique converter over here. Implement the button so that the button can be used to get the value from the edit text and then display it on the output area at the bottom. Right? In order to do that, we need to go back to the activity main, and then you can specify the area to output the value. Okay, to do this is simple. Go to the text, and then you can drag in the text value, the text view. Okay, let's say that you want to output the value over here, and then you can also change the name of the text. Okay, text view or the ID. So the ID you can put here TV for text view output. Okay, you can change the ID. Right? Alright, okay. And then the label, you can either put it here, right? Right? Okay. And then you can also change the text size. Okay, you can preview the text size as here, output. Right? So this is how the output will look like. So sizes like this, right? You can also change the color over here. So I will not be changing the color, and then you can also change the text alignment. All right, the text alignment. Okay, so this is just the template, right? Okay, of how the output will look like. Okay, next we need to go to the Java. Okay, the Java programming languages. Okay, there are two ways to do this. So I'm going to show you one of the ways. So we create a public class label variable for edit text. Okay, we have edit text. So edit text would be the meter. So we put a et meter. So why et meter? We means that this is a type of edit text. So meter means the unit that you want to convert. And then button. Okay, you could put a button, btn. Okay, convert. Okay, because it is a button that you want to convert. And then the output. Okay, TV output. So we put here text view, TV output. So this is right because you do not import yet the necessary class. So to import that, you can press alternate enter, and then alternate enter. So you go to this area, okay, highlight the text, and then press alternate enter, and then it will import the class. Okay, so all the class would be imported. Okay, next we go to onCreate. So in the activity life cycle, the first thing that would be called when the activity is created, it be onCreate, and then it will use the super constructor to input the save instance, and then it will set the content view. So setting the content view would display the activity main layout. So this layout would be displayed here. So before you display or set the content activity, you can also change the layout. So in order to change the layout of the activity, you can get the variable or the references from the edit text. So this is how to get the references of variable from the edit text. So first thing first, you put here et meter equals find view by id r dot id dot edit text number decimal, because it's named the edit text number decimal over here. So this is not magic, everything is being written, so you can find it over here, the name of the id that I haven't changed. So id here is edit text number decimal. So you change here, you put over here id is edit text number decimal. So and then don't forget to put a casting. So we cast it into a view of edit text. Okay, edit text. Okay, edit text view. Okay, and then you put here button btn convert equals to button. Okay, the type of button. Finds view by id r.id dot btn convert. Okay, this is a plain old Java in Android. So there are newer ways on doing this. They are using other methods, but I'm just showing you the most basic method. Okay, the most basic form of way to obtain the references to the control. Okay, put here TV output. Right? Okay. Okay, once you get this, so you can use the set content view at the top or at the bottom, doesn't matter. So we can update the view. Sorry. Okay, we can update the view. You have to click play over here to run app. Terminate and then rerun the app. So ensure that there is no error. So this is a good practice. Okay, there are no error. But the button convert still does not work. So if you remember back during your class of Java class, so sometimes you need to implement. So you can implement action listener or OnClickListener. Implements. Okay. OnClickListener. Right, over here. Make sure that you import the view, okay, instead of dialog. So it is red because you haven't implemented the method yet. So you just implement the abstract method on click. Right, here you have already implemented the on click. Right, okay, this is if you have multiple buttons. So you have view, right? So you can either type it ahead or just use a switch case. So in this case, we can use switch. Okay, view get ID, right? You remember? Okay, case. Okay, you can either use switch or if. Okay, in this way, I prefer to use case. So what are the odds? If you use case, right? In this case, I just like to use view get ID, so we use it r.id.btn convert. Okay, So it means that when you click button convert, so it will be passed at the on click, and then on click we check whether the ID would match which button convert, and then you will do some action. So in order to link the button convert to here, you need to put here button convert set on click listener. So you put here this. Okay. This means that this class will become the on-click listener handler. So we call it handler. So don't forget to put a break over here. Break. Okay, what do we do is we want to take the value of the ET meter. So we can put here float, or we could put here double. Okay, double meter equals to ET meter get text, because it is a text. Okay, why because it become red? Because the type is not compatible. So in order to get the compatible text, so you need to convert it to string. Okay, to string. Okay, still not compatible because this is a double. So you need to cast it, or you need to pass double. So in order to cast it, you need to put in a method. Okay, a method. Okay, double. Okay, pass double over here. So you can get double meter. Okay, and then you can also put here double feet. And then you use the formula to convert meter to feet. So how to convert meter to feet? Okay, you can type here. Okay, 1 equal to 3.28084. Okay, 28084. Right, 28084. Okay, 1 meter. Okay, convert to feet, 3.2084. Sorry, 28084. 28084. 28084, like this. Right, we have already done this. We want to set the output. Okay, to set TV output, to set the output, you put here output dot set text, right, meter, sorry, feet, okay, plus feet. Okay, break. Okay, and then it state a warning. Switch statement has too few case label and should probably be replaced with if statement. Okay, this is true because we only have one. But imagine that if you have many button. So kalau kamu ada banyak button, if you have too many button, right? You can put here another case. So terminate and then create. Okay, here you have already finished your unit converter. Right, here you have okay, you can create 1 feet, 2 feet, 20 feet, right? 1, okay, 200 feet. Okay, 200 feet, 200 meter to feet. Okay, 500 meter. Okay, 1,340.42 feet. So there we have already finished our unit converter. However, we are still having a problem. So what our problem is that when we click convert over here, it will crash, right? It will crash. So what happened is that the thing about this is that it does not check for 0, or it does not check for number format exception. So for your homework, so I need to do you to do something. First is that create a more robust application that checks for invalid number. Okay, and then add another button to clear the edit text. Okay. Okay, this is your task. Alright. Create a more robust application that check for invalid numbers. Okay, either you can use many things. So add another button to clear the edit text. And thirdly, you should create a handler. Okay, a handler to limit the decimal places. Okay, limit the decimal places for the converted fit value. So it means that kita kena letak dia dalam beberapa titik perpuluhan lah, limit the decimal places converted value. So for the converted fit value, so suggested would be 2 to 4 decimal places. So try to work this on your own application, add more value to it. So create a more robust application that checks for invalid numbers. So you can use if, or you can also use try and catch. So try and catch. If you remember back, try and catch, we call it trying and catching the exception. So you can use either this is a suggestion. Okay, you can use try catch to catch the exception, or use if else okay, to catch for invalid numbers. So the most elegant one you can use try and catch. So in order to check for the current application that causes the crash, you can click here on the LogCat. Okay, LogCat, and then you launch your application over here. Okay, you can see the type of your application. Okay, ensure that it running your application basic unit converter, and then change the verbose into error, so that it will only filter error. And then you press convert, and then you will see the type of the error that it is emitting. So it is emitting number format exception. So if you want to try and catch the number format exception so that the application won't crash, you can look for this, okay, number format exception, and then it will also give you the exact line where that number format exception have occurred. Okay, this is a bonus segment where you can use it to handle the exception. So I will share this video next week for another tutorial for handling exception, basic exception, and for debugging your application by looking through the LogCat. So until then, that's all. Remember to do your simple exercise or homework. So be seeing you next time.